Dyes always had to be created from nature until mauve. The purpley reddish colour, which was the first dye ever artificially made in 1856, a breakthrough in science but also a revolutionary product at the time. It is a colour that we take for granted now, but without it, our lives would not be the same. The first thing we'll be looking at is the history of mauve and how William Henry Perkins invented it. It was discovered by William Henry Perkins in 1856 at the age of 18. His professor was a well-renowned scientist called August Wilhelm von Hofmann. Hofmann was working with coal tar at the time and discovered the nature of aniline through his organic bases in naphtha. His professor set him the task of creating an anti-malaria drug called quinine total synthesis. Perkins tried oxidizing aniline made by his professor using the chemical potassium dichromate. The toluidine impurities which contained in the potassium dichromate reacted with the aniline. This was a failure in what Perkins was trying to do. Though, while cleaning out his flask, he found a purple dye that had mixed with the alcohol, hence the creation of mauve. Perkins then found out that it would be a useful dye for silk and other textiles. He rushed to his father and brother, saying that he had discovered the first synthetic dye, and asked for some money to create a business. He opened a dye works at Greenford and mass-produced it. At the time it was called aniline purple or Tyrian purple, though later on it was called mauve from the French name for a mallow flower. We have talked about the history of mauve, now we will talk about its use in fashion. Mauve became highly fashionable in 1862 when Queen Victoria appeared at a royal exhibition wearing a mauve silk gown, though it fell out of fashion in the late 1860s but sparked a new line of synthetic dyes, which is still fashionable and used this present day. After talking about the history of mauve and its uses in fashion, we will now be doing a chemical analysis. There are three different types of toluidine: orthotoluidine, metatoluidine, and paratoluidine. In modern organic synthesis, we dissolve a mixture of aniline, paratoluidine, and metatoluidine in sulfuric acid and water. This is not very effective as it creates large excess and poor solubility. It is roughly done in a 1:1:2 ratio, and then potassium dichromate is added. We now have four mixtures of mauve, which only differ in the skeletal formula. To be precise, they're methyls. Mauve A has one molecule of paratoluidine and orthotoluidine and two molecules of aniline, whereas B only has one molecule of all these substances. Then we have recently found the others where B2 has its methyls in a different place and Mauve C has an additional paratoluidine. I have done the history of mauve, its uses in fashion, and a chemical analysis. I will now do the conclusion. Perkins' discovery of mauve was groundbreaking and revolutionised dyes and brought around synthetic dyes. Mauve was also highly fashionable at the time and helped make other fashions better. We have now discovered that there are four different types of mauve and increased our knowledge on the dye, though the ways of making it are nearly the same as Perkins' mauve.